Unless you and Joshua have any objections, I'd like to start evacuating the Sorrows. I'm going to need your help, so say your piece. Even our Lord had doubts. Think it over, but listen to your heart. And do it quickly. We don't have much time.
Katubiyu. I do. A fine husband and 3 children. I miss them each day, but I take comfort in knowing they are safe. When we learned that Salt Upon Wounds had defiled Zion with his presence, Daniel ordered the children, the old, and the sick evacuated from the camp. My husband volunteered to lead the hunters that went with them for protection. I try not to worry about them, but we have had no news for so long, and Daniel seems sad when I ask him about it. Sad and a little frightened. Perhaps he will. I sometimes feel he thinks he must protect me. If he has news, I would know of it.
Unless you and Joshua have any objections, I'd like... What do you want to know, exactly? I'm sure she could tell you much better than I. Oh, well, that's true. Waking Cloud is a talented midwife. She certainly brought more children into the world than I have. But there are some problems she's never dealt with. One of them came up when she was having her 3rd child, and I really didn't do much. I'm surprised she mentioned it. If you could part with it, healing powder would be welcome. We have enough. Brock and Xander plants can be found throughout the valley, and you might even find some on Whitelegs you come across. I should be able to address most. I can provide medical assistance. I do. All right, I can provide you with supplies, but be frugal with them. Unless you and Joshua have any objections. I did. Her 3 children are safe. They made it north weeks ago and met up with New Canaanites heading east. Her husband didn't make it. He died protecting their children from a Whiteleg attack. Do not tell Waking Cloud. She is one of the only Sorrows who can communicate easily with us, and her tribe needs her to be strong right now. To everything, there is a season. Who are you or I to put this heavy burden on her now? I know, you're right. I shouldn't have hidden it from her in the first place. We can't fail here again. Zion can't become the next New Canaan. The Sorrows don't deserve that. They don't deserve any of this. Sometimes I look at them and wonder if they would have been better off if those old trails had stayed forgotten. If we had never found any of them. Tell Waking Cloud if you think that's best. I won't stop you. Ah, that's great news. Your generosity is... well, I just can't thank you enough.
Katubiyu. What? No. You must be mistaken. Daniel would have told me. How dare he? What gives him the right? I thought Daniel was my friend. But he cares nothing for the sorrows. Perhaps. I will have to have a very long talk with Daniel when all of this is over. Thank you for telling me this truth.
Good job getting those supplies to Daniel. If you were a dead horse, you'd get a tattoo for that. Let me tell you a story. When I was a boy, a man came through the valley with one of the caravans. Tall man, big mustache, carried a guitar. I asked what he did for his living, and the interpreter told me he was a singer. "What is that?" I asked. The man explained that he went from place to place and sang for people, who gave him food and shelter and care in return. I couldn't believe that there was a place in this world where a man could do that. I promised myself then that one day I'd explore that world myself. Is it? I always heard it was rather large outside the valley. Well, wherever he is, I hope he's well. I haven't told him yet. Never had the Growans. You'd do that? Sure. Sounds smart to me. He might not get so mad at you. Mostly it's the mountain bighorners. Whole herd of them up on the cliffs there. Usually they're not too aggressive, but lately, whew. My guess is one of the calves got lost somewhere along the way. Bighorners are communal. One missing calf, and the whole herd gets ornery. If that calf doesn't turn up soon, they might very well come down into the valley and attack the camp. Yeah? Hey, thanks. Most of the hunters don't listen when I tell them the problem. Just one thing. Try not to kill any bighorners if you can, yeah? You'll drive the herd off and we'll have to range farther on our hunts. You might try luring the baby out with some banana yucca. These bighorners go crazy for the stuff. That's great. I'll help any way I can.
Welcome back. What can I do for you? I thought he might. It's been some time since I've visited civilized places. I don't have fond memories of them. But I have always seen these places from the outside. I'd rather not influence him more than I already do. Why don't you talk to him? Whatever you tell him, I'm sure it will be fine. It's still his choice to make. I just want him to make it without looking to me for approval. He's a man. He can make his own decisions.
can I tell you? Yeah? What did he say? He said that? Well, I guess you have been out there more recently than he has. So, what's your advice? I see. Well, thanks for your telling. I'd like a minute alone to think about this. Thank me.